What's up, guys? This is Adventures in Bitcoin checking in on whatever it is. I don't know what you'd want to call this. Whatever this is. Bitcoin fell to about almost $4,100. It's since bounced back a little bit, but breaking all of these major support levels, even this phase 2 line that I've had drawn now for quite some time. I said it wouldn't go through it. I said it most likely would not go through it, and guess what? It did. And even then some. It even broke through this falling wedge. And if you look at the RSI, it has not been oversold, and going back September 2015. I mean, we are extremely oversold here. A lot of crap in the media, a lot of bears coming out to claim victory. Some of the talking heads that I listen to are, I listen to Sonny Decree here, and I listen to the Modern Investor. These guys, as well as some other people in the YouTube space. So everybody's got their opinion as to why Bitcoin fell the way it did. I stated my opinion in the last video. I felt that this is due to nothing but manipulation. Whales just looking to capitalize on shorting the market because things are so flat and there was just not a lot of money to be made in Bitcoin during this time frame. So they decided to just, manipulate the market, and it worked. They picked the perfect time when the BCH Bitcoin Cash war was going on. And then we got this back news that came right after. And people were saying Sonny Decree here was losing his mind. But I listened to this video, this live stream, and he was just, he was upset because of the timing was suspicious of the backed delay. And really, who really cares about backed? Does anyone really know what it is, what it's for? I would doubt anybody who's really, unless you're really paying attention to what's been going on, and you really understand this space, you probably don't even know what backed is or why it would affect the price. I don't think any of this has anything to do with it, but the fact that these guys are claiming it is, like, I follow Modern Investor because he reads the news, and I find it really convenient to have someone read me the news. Though he tends to be a little long-winded, so I kick the speed up to like 1.5 so I can listen to it real fast. But it's a lot more convenient than fishing out these news articles and actually reading them myself. But he had a little bit of a rant the other day where he was attributing the fall in the price of Bitcoin was due to the Bitcoin Cash infighting, and how they're ruining the space by creating forks of Bitcoin and forks of Bitcoin. While there is some truth to that, I don't think it's enough to move it the way it did. I mean, we've had forks before, and we've never seen a move quite like this. But the problem is these guys have a lot of subscribers. So what happens is if they say that that's the reason for the fall, now that gives credit for the next time these guys have an argument. Somebody's gonna, what's his name? Roger Ver is gonna have a nasty tweet one day, and people are gonna react or overreact to it, tanking the price, when really it originally had no effect on it to begin with. So we really have to take with a grain of salt what you hear in the media, and even what you hear from YouTube. So what do you do in a situation like this when you're hodling Bitcoin, you're hodling your cryptos, and you see a big drop in the price? You could be tempted to sell here, but why? Why take a loss when it's just going to come back? It may take a month, it may take 3 months, 6 months, a year. it's going to come back eventually. These things move in cycles. And to put things in perspective, here is the S&P 500, which I look at as kind of a middle ground of how the stocks are doing. And I'm not liking what I'm seeing. I'm actually thinking about rebalancing my 401k to get more into bonds and be less exposed to this, because I think we might see more to the downside. And why I say that is because if you look at the dollar index, the dollar has been really strong. And you see headlines like US adds more jobs than forecasted in August as wage growth surges. So the economy in the US is doing really well. And when the dollar is doing good, why would people want to invest in stocks? Or gold or Bitcoin for that matter. So if you want to look at Bitcoin and say, oh, Bitcoin is worthless, Bitcoin is going down, Bitcoin sucks. Well, stocks aren't looking too great right now either. And I'm not saying, a lot of people think that Bitcoin and the stock market, a lot of people think that Bitcoin and stock market are tied together. I don't say that they're tied together, but they are affected by the same things. So that's why it can look like they're tied together, but they're actually not. That's an important distinction. So what I've been doing is just hanging tight. If I had the cash, I would definitely dump it into Bitcoin right now at this low. I do think we're going to come down more. I think we can come down to 3,000 at the very lowest. And there's some people like Tone Vase are saying we're going to come down to 1,500 or 1,000. I don't think that's going to happen, but don't look at me because I've been wrong in the past. I said it wouldn't go beneath this red line, and it sure enough did. Now, Bitcoin definitely does not act in a way that's predictable. We can try to figure out what it may do or most likely will do, but there's really no way to know for sure because of all the manipulation and all the players involved. And we don't know if the manipulation is being done by miners, shrewd traders that just have a lot of Bitcoin, cartels, governments, Wall Street, you name it, maybe all of the above. But what we can do is sort of play along with them because, what goes down must go up. And there's a reason why this is being driven down. And I believe it's that the powers that be want to pick some up at very cheap prices so that they can ride the wave back up until the average investors start to FOMO back in. Now, it may take some time, but it'll happen. So what I've been doing in the meantime is Voyager here is giving away $25 in Bitcoin just for signing up to check out their new trading app. And they have an incentive that if you invite your friends and they sign up, you get an extra $25. The hitch is they don't give it to you right away. You have to kind of wait for the app to launch, and then they're going to deposit it inside the app for you to do what you want with. Now, what I'm thinking is, what will the price be when I get that money, when I get that Bitcoin? Hopefully it's going to be way down around 3,000 because then I can ride that money up as Bitcoin rises. Now, Voyager's not the only one that does this. There are other programs out there that you can look into, but this is a great way to get some free Bitcoin. So check it out. There's a link in the description. This will not last forever, so make sure you get in as soon as you can. So just touching all the bases here, Bitcoin has stabilized at 4610. Ethereum's still looking weak, also bounced a little bit. Neem has done well during this whole thing. I talked about that in the last video. If you were holding Neem, you're doing pretty good. You may even want to consider buying Bitcoin here if you're holding Neem or Ripple, because Ripple's Despite how you feel about Ripple, it has done really well. The Bitcoin value has just been going up, while Bitcoin's dollar value has been going down. So if you're holding Ripple, even if you're a Ripple maximalist, I know you guys are out there, you may want to take a little bit off the table and buy some Bitcoin with it, with the Ripple you're holding, to pick it up off this low. Or maybe even wait, pick some up now, wait for it to hit 3K and then pick up some more. Not telling you what to do, it's just a suggestion. Now, as you know, I'm not in the business of telling you what to do. I say that all the time. And I mean it. It's not just a disclaimer. It's I don't like people telling me what to do. So I'm not going to be preachy and tell you what to do. But I thought I'd share some rules that I follow for investing in crypto that you may find to your benefit. Your miles may vary. So here it goes. Number one, don't invest more than you're willing to lose. And this really is the most important rule. If you find yourself staring at charts all day in fear and leaving comments to all the YouTube channels, when moon, you said Bitcoin was going to 50K, you probably have too much invested. Investing is risky. Investing in real estate, investing in the stock market, they all have risks. Bitcoin is like that risk times 10. So you need to understand that before you put your hard-earned dollars into cryptocurrency. Number two, dollar cost average. So in other words, don't try to pick a bottom and dump your entire savings account into cryptocurrency hoping to get rich. That's usually a mistake. It's really hard to time these things, when to get in, when to get out. But if you're doing it a little bit by little bit over the course of some time, you hardly feel it. And the end result can be really, really significant. Number three, I always say buy with entertainment money. If you're a dude, maybe that's your beer money. Maybe that's your strip club money. Maybe it's money you would use to go golfing. If you're a lady, maybe you take from shopping budget, drinks with the girls. I don't know, whatever you ladies do. The point is, you use the money that you would normally use for entertainment. This is not money that you're using to pay the bills with, not money that you're using to save for a rainy day. This is just money you would have spent anyway, like on lottery tickets. Number four, ignore the media, especially CNBC and all the people on TV. They everything that they say is pretty much garbage and meant to sway you in a certain way, either politically or financially. It really makes no sense to listen to them because they are wrong 90% of the time, 99.9% of the time. 5, buy blue chip coins on red days. What I mean by that, blue chip coins are like these guys here. If we go to CoinMarketCap, we can sort by 1 billion plus or 100 million to 1 billion. I would say 100 million to 1 billion would be your blue chip coins. You would want to pick from here the projects that you feel strongly about and diversify whichever way makes sense to you. Just make sure you're in good projects. If you want to be even more picky, you can go 1 billion or more. We only have 10, well, 9 if you take out Tether. These are projects that we're assuming are going to be around. They've already been around for a long time, and we're assuming that they're going to be around longer than some of the other projects that are available. The idea being is we want to be as safe as possible. We want to pick projects that are as safe as possible in a space that's extremely, extremely volatile and risky. And what I mean by red days, when you see these guys, when you see a project that you like, you see that coin is down deep in the red one day and there's no real reason for it, that's the time to buy or to add to the position. because unless something is fundamentally wrong, they tend to swing right back to where they were. And 6, nibble on some small caps. Now this is optional. If you're feeling a little risky, a little frisky, you want to gamble a little bit, every now and then you'll see, actually not every now and then, almost all the time, if you go to all here and you sort by 7-day percentage gains, you will see some random coins that have just mooned like you wouldn't believe. Like some of these are 1,000%. These are the very small cap coins that are just starting. They'll go from like 1 Satoshi to 5 Satoshis in a very small period of time. That's a huge gain. The problem is a lot of these are not liquid, so you just have to find a project that you like, that you want to throw a little bit on, a little venture capitalism. Think of it like picking a racehorse. And when you see that thing go 100%, 200%, 300%, which you can see happens very often, take your profits, sell back to Bitcoin, and repeat the process. So that's it for today. Guys, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Keep your head out of the markets. Don't worry about this. This drop is only temporary. We may even see a bigger drop over the next couple of weeks. Who cares? When Bitcoin goes up, great. When Bitcoin goes down, better. Stay profitable, my friends. Happy Thanksgiving, and see you in the next video.